Welcome to Coffee and Pizza. I hope you can enjoy.
Welcome to another episode of Coffee and Pizza. And today we have very important and very special guest from my point of view. But first of all, please remember to give me a like and subscribe to the channel because it's typical to have the people of bring here and have this conversation because everyone is busy. Then we need to say thanks to the guest of today. And Dorota, thank you very much for coming here. It's a pleasure for me share that time with you and listen a little bit about your story and your background and share that time with you. Thank you very much for coming, Dorota. How is it going on?
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. I'm really happy to be here and sharing my story and maybe giving some motivational content as well. And thank you for giving me a stage and inviting me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And the second thing I believe is very important. Many people don't know you. Okay, and that's the way. That's why I bring you here, or maybe more people know you than me because you are more influencer than me. LinkedIn, you have followers than me. That's maybe the people are gonna say, "Who is this guy?" Introduced to the interview with Dorota, but doesn't matter. Like, can you give to us a little bit of highlights? What are you doing in your life, in your daily?
Okay, so actually now I'm looking for a job. That's the main thing what I'm doing. But it's there is like a light in the tunnel, it looks promising. But I'm actually a penetration tester, and like my dream is to become a red teamer in few years. So I'm just really learning a lot, trying to learn every day. That's why like on LinkedIn I share the never give up and learning every day hashtags. And that's, I don't know, pretty much it. But I'm sure you will ask for more details later so I can elaborate.
Thank you very much. I believe that is a very good introduction. And also, if some people, someone is trying to find some professional red teamer woman, in this case, Wonder Woman, you are the right one. After that, I want to discuss a little bit about from where are you from? Because many people maybe don't know from where are you from.
Oh, I was born in Poland. Lived for a few years in the Netherlands, but I'm back in Poland again in Warsaw. So yeah, I'm Polish. So I don't know. I don't think there's like many people from my country like popular in the cyberspace, but we are very smart people, and maybe we don't we are also like very humble. So I'm doing it kind of in a different way that everyone from my country, because on LinkedIn I'm posing with a red dress with a red cape. So I'm a bit flashy there, but just from my experience, my first job was I worked for the local government in Poland. So there I was like kind of like a gray mouse, kind of a person that just volunteered to do more tasks. And I'm a hard worker, so I did work hard. But no one really noticed me, and like I didn't get any promotion. No one, appreciated my hard input into the tasks. So I thought, so if I am to succeed in my life, I should probably be noticeable more. So that's like one of the reasons why I'm wearing the red Wonder Woman dress on LinkedIn. So yeah.
And also, I believe it's important to know about you for when you was younger and where you born and grew. Because explain a little bit about you. Then can you explain to us how was when you was younger there in Poland? Because I believe Poland in maybe 20 years ago when you was younger, it's not the same than today. And technology is not because if we can go and see like the economy in Poland in the last 20 years was crazy growing if you compare with another economies. And I believe like 20 years ago, many people believe Poland it was how I can say, like a poor country, and today maybe still poor, but have better resources than 20 years ago. And the growth of the country is crazy. Then can you explain to us a little bit how was when you was younger, how you arrived to the computers and this world?
Okay, so to give you a bit a background for Poland, we regained our independence in 1989 after the war. So before, we couldn't really travel that much, and it was complicated. But to move along, so I was born before that happened, so I do remember some of it. And then I was, as a teenager, I was pretty shy, so the society kind of had impact on me and like what I think about myself and like what I can achieve in life. So I wanted to study computer science, but like the society kind of the atmosphere around me give me like the indication that I'm a female, so I probably shouldn't try studying computer science because it's too difficult for me. It's like only men there, so I will be like the only woman. So it will be difficult. I will not have any hope. So that was like the context to why I decided not to study computer science, but I went to study economics. But because I'm very ambitious and wanted to learn, at the same time, I also did another studies. So I also am graduated from management and marketing. So I have the bachelor's degree from that and master's degree from economics. And then I started working local government in Poland. But and I'm like very loyal, very ambitious, and like hard worker. So I really worked hard there, as I mentioned before. But no one really noticed me. So I started thinking, oh, what can I do with my life? Because I don't really like where it's going up to this point. So, and is this like the end? Like that's how the rest of my life will look like? Okay, I don't like that one bit. So I started thinking, okay, what who I am, what do I want in life? What are my dreams, hopes, and like whatever. And then I remembered that I really wanted to study computer science, and I was even like sneaking into the physics department when I was a teenager to use the MIRTS chats and like meet with friends and like explore technology in a way. It was like MS-DOS mostly then, but that's something. So and I remember that, and I started like looking, oh, what would be like a good entry point for me to enter the IT. So I found software testing. I started learning about it, got certified, I got my first job. And for a first year, I was only a manual tester for like functional tests. So I clicking through the applications, but I'm really ambitious, want to learn. So I asked them, okay, so can I maybe learn how to write Java and automate those tests? And they said, no, you will only click. And I remember like there were like testers in the company that worked for 7 years, only clicking the app. So I thought, okay, I already like waste 8 years in the government work, so I don't feel like I can click on the pages 7 years and doing like the same job. So I wanted to grow. So I changed my employer, and then another year of work, so writing tests in Java, like automating that, and like also doing the manual at the same time. And then I had 2 years of experience. I pretty much tell you my whole stories, not only my young years. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine because something very funny you are saying, like you was a professional clicker. We can see it.
Yeah.
And one thing very very interesting, and that's why the reason I like to bring girls to the podcast is like, and also for my Spanish channel I'm bringing Benny, and I try to the most possible because I believe it's important. Like here inside of cybersecurity, we don't have many women, and most of them is like afraid to go to this world because many of them we can think like this is a men's world or something like that. And I believe that's not true, right? I believe like if you are a hard worker and you can show your skills, it's not only smoke selling, right? Like the people are gonna have to you like a good respect, and we can see your case, right? I believe you are very respected inside of LinkedIn and about your posts and everything because you are showing to the people what you are talking about. And that's why it's the reason I bring you here. And that's why it's a pleasure for me to have this conversation with you. Then don't be worried about that. I like listen every detail because I don't know how many things about your life. And I believe maybe someone is listening to you and it's very interested for this point of view. Then you can continue. And also one thing I want to mention, like you were saying, like, I want to start to writing coding in JavaScript. Like, how do you learn?
It's Java, not JavaScript, actually.
Sorry.
It's okay. I in my first job, when the manager actually taught me the basics. So he, I opened the test in front of me and explained like, oh, this is this, and I was also like reading on the internet, like, watching the YouTube videos of the Indian developers. Yes, that happened. So and also I had, I think maybe some books in PDF format from somewhere. I don't remember exactly, but I was really good in looking for knowledge for free on the internet. So and maybe I did some courses on Udemy. I do remember like one or two of those. So it was like a lot of things at the same time, actually. So it wasn't not like okay, I watched this course and it was perfect. I learned a lot. So my brain works in this way that if I don't understand something from the first source I'm learning from, then I watch the same thing from another source, and then another, and then okay, this guy explained it perfectly. I understand it now. So it's like I sometimes learn the same thing few times, but to get like the bigger picture. So every time, some people, I don't know why, I'm but it works in a way that everyone has a different brain, so he explains it in a different way. So that's like how I do it. But to move along, if you don't mind. So I was in the second job then, learning writing the tests, and then I didn't mention that before, but when I work in the government office, I asked them for 1 year of unpaid vacation, and then I went abroad. So I went for a half year to Bristol, UK, and then half year Amsterdam, Netherlands. And I fell in love in the Netherlands, so I decided, okay, I want to go back in here. But with the government job, it's like doesn't seem doable. But if I will go into IT, then for sure. Then after those years, being a tester, I could go back, and then I learned also. I met a headhunter in Amsterdam, and she told me, "Okay, you have 2 years. I will help you come here." And so I moved to the Netherlands back, and then I got a job at Basic Fit. It was like a big chain of gyms, for Europe based, and I was pretty much a one-woman army there because I was testing everything that they asked me for. So the clicking thing, like the functional tests, going through the mobile apps for them as well, for Android and iOS, writing the automation scripts, because I asked my manager, okay, is that okay if I write a project? Because I was only writing the tests, but I wanted to know how to configure the project from A to Z. So configure everything to be like Selenium, Java, and to create a project, and then upload it into a pipeline. So when the developers push their code into the application, so my test can check, is anything broken now? So so it works like from A to Z. That's what I wanted to say. And I was also writing some performance tests and testing the APIs with Swagger and Postman, yes, and writing tests for the API. So a lot of things, but I never test the security from them. And then one day they hired a penetration tester, and I remember that I saw, like, when I was learning testing, there was a chapter on penetration testing at the end of the book, but it felt like, okay, this is difficult. Okay, what is this? Okay, and then they hired the penetration tester, and in the meantime, there was the TV show Mr. Robot. So like all of the things started like popping up in my brain, like it was there before because I read the books, and there was the chapter at the end. But I started connecting the dots. Okay, this is what I really want, because the testing is cool, but I can already see that there's like a boundary for what I can learn here, and I'm kind of like reaching that boundary after like 5 years of experience with that, and yeah, so I started going to Hack the Box meetups in the Netherlands, and another meetup was for women in cybersecurity, and on one of those for women, I met my future employer, and Hack the Box was like super difficult, but I kept coming back because I wanted to learn. And although I didn't understand what is happening at the beginning, because they were like, I don't know, the programs, and like they were hacking boxes there, and like I didn't know any of it, so I didn't understand, but I was taking notes, and it started like popping up in my brain. Okay, I know this, so let's Google this and like learn more about that. And I also like started doing try hack me's and hack the boxes like slowly with walkthroughs, so to learn. And I thought, okay, so when I was still working for the government, I decided to, I'm jumping a bit, but it's fits in the context now. So I decided to study computer science to like follow my dream that I had before, but I was scared to do it. So I only have like post-graduation studies for 1 year. So I thought, okay, 1 year, knowing like, I don't know, assembly, some basics of networking, coding in C Sharp, and yeah, like basics of IT. I don't think it's enough to be a penetration tester. I think I should learn more. So I started doing COPTER courses, so the A plus, Network plus, Security plus, and from Security plus I have the certification. And then I did also Pentest plus. I didn't pass by 30 points, so I want to redo that one just for like, I don't know, my ambition, because 30 points is not a lot of points. So and there was like a lot of questions about Nmap and the tool that I didn't know anything about. So I just have to repeat the Nmap and the tool. And so I should be good. But to move along, and then I thought, okay, I did all of those boxes. I did all of those courses, and I have the certification. So I can create my own CV and like tell them, okay, I want to be a penetration tester. This is what I know. This is what I'm learning. This is in progress. And so, yeah. And they invited like the employer. I asked the question on the meetup, and they, okay, oh, she's okay. Let's invite her to have a talk with us. And then I met with one of the employees to talk about the culture, because the culture was really important. After the work in office, I was mocked in the office. I didn't mention that, but I wasn't having fun, so I didn't want any toxic environments anymore. But this felt like okay, they are like really nice, that they are helpful, so this might be good. So one thing led to another. I was recommended with one of the employees I started talking with, and I got an interview that got hired. And on the job interview, it was for a security analyst. I told them, okay, my biggest dream is I want to be a penetration tester, and like they saw the passion and like the excitement, like, oh, penetration tester. And so I had one of the interviews with the director, and she's like started making notes. Penetration tester, yes, okay. And then okay, they really grilled me there, so I got hired. But it turns out that Netherlands, they didn't have any technical projects for penetration testing. They mostly, what I was doing there was writing documentation for SOC. I had a lot of training, so I'm really grateful for them, because they really gave me like a solid background for cybersecurity. And I learned how to create beautiful PowerPoint presentation and how to present them to a client. So that's a very useful skill to have. No complaints there. But I really wanted to be the penetration tester and not continue creating PowerPoint presentations and like, I don't know, writing documentation, because I already did that a lot in my office experience. 8 years is a lot of years for creating Excel sheets and PowerPoint presentations. But and then I thought, okay, I really want to be a penetration tester, but here I have no chances to do that. So probably I could go back to Poland, because I learned working in that year that Poland has one of the 3 best
schools or spaces or
yes, like the departments for pen testing in Accenture. So so that's what I asked them. Oh, do you have a room for me? Would you hire like me from if I move along from a different branch? And so I had another interview, like if I was going from outside of the company actually. So they grilled me again to check like, oh, what is SQL injection? What is this? What is this? And then I got hired, and I was already on the project on my like week 2, learning how to pen test web application with another person in the project. So I was shadowing at first, and then they told me do the Burp Suite practitioner course, so the Burp Suite Web Security Academy, and I was like at the same time I was learning. So I was learning a lot. So I was starting work in the morning, learning on the project, and then till 10 p.m. I was doing the academy for Burp Suite. So That was that was a lot. And then when I finished the academy, I tried to get the certification from Portswigger, but turns out people with 7 years of experience don't pass it, and I was just like a fresher, 1 year experience in pen testing. So although I did get the first flag, I didn't. My time elapsed. I was too slow still, so I have to be faster to pass it. But I already know how to move along in that certification. So it might not be so difficult as I thought at first, but I just have to be a bit faster to pass, because I think there is like 2 hours for getting the user credential, then getting elevating to admin, and then getting a file from the admin.
Yes,
So
collect privileges. So you mean like?
yeah.
Yep.
And then I started learning from the OCP course, and that was the whole 2023 for me. And still, like, I was testing web APIs. I had some network tests as well, and a bit of mobile, but mostly was web. So I thought, yeah, let's prioritize web experience, so like web applications. And then I started doing OCP and tried to get certified this year in January. But turns out my laptop was didn't manage me running the proctoring service and Chrome. So I don't know. My laptop is it's not all, but it had some problems. So it almost burned during the exam, so I had to abort. And but it was kind of okay, because I felt like I already know how to move along in the exam. So I made some notes, so I'm sure that I will pass it next time. And then I didn't. Okay, so the OCP, and then because of my activity on LinkedIn, I got approached. I was awarded the trophy of Cyber Woman of Hope in Paris at the end of 2023. And then I was approached by Yogosha, and they asked me, "Oh, do you want to join our bug bounty program?" And I said, "Okay, I cannot, because I had the loyalty contract with Accenture, so I couldn't leave at that point, and I couldn't do any competitive work. So doing bug bounty would also be some do not compete. So that would be a problem. But I already felt like, I don't think I'm growing like fast enough in this company. So I will ask. It doesn't really hurt to ask. So I asked them, okay, I cannot join the bug bounty program, but maybe you can offer me a different job. And then they started. I didn't think much about it. I just said that, and like, I don't know, forget they exist, kind of. And then they got back to me a few months later and offered me a position of hacker success manager for their strike force from the company. So I was I offered I accepted that position, and was working for them as a kind of like a community manager of their strike force, the hackers. But they had some issues. They lost an investor, so I was back on the market a few months later, and now I'm here with you. So, but so what I wanted to mention at the end of like my rant here is, I think networking on LinkedIn, like showing yourself on LinkedIn, is important, because Yugosha saw me on LinkedIn, and then they thought, okay, she's perfect. And also now when I'm looking for a job, I use the network connection and like the friends that I made through LinkedIn, and they are like really helping me to get my foot into the door and get an interview with really nice companies. Because when I was only sending my CVs to the job postings that I found on LinkedIn, I got like 100+ rejections. So I don't think it works. But if you start like, I don't know, showing yourself like who you are, like writing posts, sharing I don't know, your learning progress on, or maybe, I don't know, you have a blog and you share posts, or a GitHub account, and you, okay, I wrote this code here, check it out. So people will start noticing you, will start, I don't know, gaining trust in you as a professional, as a future employee perhaps. And so I really encourage everyone to step out the shadow and share their who they are, what is special about them, what they like. I have a friend, for example, that he specialized in hardware hacking. That's his passion, and that's pretty unique. So I also a bit maybe encourage him to start sharing that. And now he's getting invited to different conferences because that's a very interesting topic and everyone wants to hear about it. So I just encourage everyone to maybe not create a persona like me because I'm a Wonder Woman there, but just show how unique you are, who you are as a person, and give others a chance to get to know you.
No. It's incredible because you open many doors. Very, very interesting. Every one of each. Like I want to start from the beginning. Like you say, I want to start to study using internet, right? And I start to study by myself. I like to read books, find solutions, trying to go in everywhere to find the solution or the way to understand what I am doing. And I believe that's the when many times we are talking about hacking, we believe or we think most of the time in cybersecurity professionals, but hacking is not that. Hacking is the mentality, and I believe that's your mentality. That's why you can be a hacker, because you have the ability to think outside of the box and try to find the solutions. And that's the important point of view of when you want to be a hacker, right? Because many people is like, okay, I want to follow the right app or the throw of the hack the box, and I want to do like that, right? If it doesn't work, I go to another machine. But I believe that your point of view is the right one, because you try to fight in and try to hard work, and you mentioned, like, to find a solution. And that's the hacker mentality. That's why I believe you are perfect for this work, right? And also you share to the people, like you start from the beginning paying marketing, but you follow your passion. And I believe this is important because when you are working in cybersecurity, the passion is the most important thing. Because one of the things when I was living in Nordic countries, because you mentioned like Norway and that, like most of the companies is focused on cybersecurity, but in blue team, we can say, in purple team, because in some cases you have the secure code and the security by default, introducing expensive and very, very, very expensive tools inside of your project for have the security. But when I go into these countries, like if you go to internet and you try to find OSCTP professionals, most of them is from Spain and Poland, and some from Romania, but most of them is Spain and Poland. Spain and Poland is one of the most important places for cybersecurity in Europe, and it's not fake. It's like you can go and check it on the internet. It's like you have very high professionals in Italy, you have high professionals in everywhere of the world, but the name of professionals in cybersecurity, Spain and Poland, it's like crazy. Of course, you have United States, but United States is a big country if you compare with that. I was talking about that with Emil from Kaido. He explained me like this is true and this is something happens because it's different approach, right? I believe like we are coming from different point of views, and that's what will help you to us to do like that. Also, we have the Russian people working in APT and but hackers, but not most of them because you have many professionals. But that's interesting, right? And the availability do you have to think outside of the box? It's like why you are a hacker, right? And that's important. And I believe like some you mentioned like when I was a woman and I don't get the support, right? That's normal because we are coming from this world, like that's the reason why I like to bring people like you here, because I want to share your experience and share to the people. You fight hard, you work hard, like same you did, you can arrive to find your how can I say, maybe not the solution, but maybe you can find a way to start working in Nigerian, because you're starting in penetration tester like 5 years ago, something like that, or 7 years ago.
Yeah, actually, 7 years ago in IT. So I was for 5 years the functional tester and the security tester. So the pen tester, I have like circa like 2.5 years of experience. So it was pretty recent. But I started learning like 2 years before that. So it's like, I don't know, depends from the perspective. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, but also we can say that's have the perfect connection. What you mentioned in the end of the introduction of yourself, like when you explain, like it's important to have LinkedIn for share your content. That's the experience of marketing that you have before. Help you to create that community, help you to create that content, and help you to do that connection with the people. Like maybe the people believe, oh, marketing doesn't works because she did this years ago, but we can see the solution today is like how it's helping you to find a better job thanks to your marketing strategy. Are you following? And I believe that's very important and interesting. And same as you mentioned, like here in cybersecurity, many people is doing things in the garage and don't want to show to the people. It's like, no, I want to be famous because someone discover I am a professional. But if you don't go outside and you explain what are you doing, like doesn't have any sense, because finally the thing that we are trying to do is help to the people. And if you are doing something interesting and you can save lives or you can save companies, but you are doing it in your garage and no one knows, it's like doesn't have any sense, right?
Yeah,
At
that's
least,
what I actually learned. Sorry, I learned it that the first job where I was doing government, when I was like really a valuable employee, but I was a gray mouse, so I was not really showing myself, advertising myself in a good light. And I had a friend that started being friends with the directors, going to drink tea with them, like talking about her and like the best light possible. And I really learned a lot from her because she got promoted 2 times in the time that I was working there, and she became like the manager of the department. At the time when I just felt, okay, I have enough. I have to leave this company. And so I actually learned a lot watching her, that I cannot be a gray mouse and a hard worker. That's like what my parents told me, like if you want to achieve something, work hard. But actually you cannot work hard because you will only get like a lump on your back and side problems. But you have to work smart. So be a valuable employee, but also talk about yourself, advertise yourself, like show yourself on LinkedIn. And yeah, that was actually why I did that. And another reason why, there's actually layers to why I'm like in the red capes on LinkedIn. But another thing was that I felt like it's really hard to find a job when you send a CV and you get no replies. So I just wanted to advertise myself in a way that so they invite me. So then I'm visible and I'm viewed as this rare gem. No, so they contact me and they send the headhunters to get an interview with her, and not the other way around. Because if you say, it's like if you think of it like the law of attraction, if you send your CV, then it comes from a place of neediness, like lack, then you say, okay, I need a job. It's kind of like how you get a job, but I'm trying to explain it in like the theoretical way. So then you go from a place of luck. But if you are like this shining gem, on LinkedIn, and they contact you, then you are a valuable asset to them. They want to pay you more, and they are really interested in getting you on board. So that's a kind of like what I'm trying to reframe how I'm on LinkedIn, because I noticed I'm here like 9th year, and I started doing that in 2021, I think, like being like the red Wonder Woman. And it really changed, because before I couldn't actually get the job very quickly. And now I have multiple, chances. I had the Google headhunter contacting me 2 times and on a separate occasions. And it's like, it works. So I wouldn't say that it works always, because I get an interview and then for example, I get stressed and I bump the technical part and I don't get the job, but I don't get the interview. So it kind of works. So that's what I was trying to say. Sorry.
no, but that's very important, because also we can talk about the fake job opportunities many companies are creating only for know the market. And that's something I had to find was like, I believe like 3 or 4 weeks ago, a person wanted to study about like a huge number of job position offered in LinkedIn is fake, because only the companies want to show have possibility to find. Also, if you have you are finding investors, is the way to show, wow, my company is growing. But the happen is sense like I have the same situation like you. Like the only way I get the job and I get a very good job opportunities is because I have LinkedIn, and the people contact to me like, hey, your profile is interesting for the company. We believe you can work here, and I have the same experience like you. Then I believe this is working, and maybe it's true. There's the thing that many people are saying, like most of the companies or more of the offers in LinkedIn, it's not true. It's only for create like investment, or maybe the feeling like the company is working fine, or most of them is only for see how is the market, and another one is for have profiles in the background if something happens. Because if you work in cybersecurity, or maybe you work like me, I work at handling projects. Many times it's like the project start today, but need to end in 2 weeks, and you have a very narrow time, and then
Yeah.
you need to work hard. And most of the time, like for do the work, you need the people, right? Doesn't matter the money, because if you don't have the people, it's impossible to do it. The professional, right? And then if you have a huge back of professionals ready for be a part of your project, can be very, very easy to do it. But moving forward a little bit, you was mentioned before something like very, very interesting from my point of view, because you were saying I was starting to study for web penetration tester and also OSCP. One of the things I tried to explain to the people today, most of the companies looking for professionals for web penetration tester, because most of the companies or most of the software is moving to SaaS software, like a web application or something like that. And then we will need more professionals in this field, because in web application we have a lot of professionals in coding, but then not a professionals in coding knowing about coding, secure coding. Okay, here comes Chris. He's an incredible professional about code secure and explaining to the people like that, because same as you mentioned, like if you want to create something secure, it's not the same when you are creating something. And most of the companies is working with agile methodologies, and the time is pushing to you to launch the application, but sometimes it's leaking some information, or sometimes it's leaking some issues. And another point you mentioned, like you are starting to study the OSCP, right? And in my point of view today, OSCP doesn't have many. It's changing today, but not have many sense, because it's like infrastructure, and most of the companies is moving to cloud, or maybe moving to another way. And I believe today it's very interesting if you study, like same as you was commenting before, is hacking APIs is a future. Buckets like internet bucket, like AWS, Google buckets, or whatever. And also interested to, and that's why I want to make you these questions, like hacking applications for mobile applications. I don't know if you are was thinking to study like web application tester or something like that. No, sorry, Android application tester, or iPhone application tester, because there have a lot of professional looking. Many companies is looking for this kind of professional, and you have a knowledge about how.
But I don't really enjoy it, so I don't think it would be something that I would follow. Like, I don't know, as a, oh, this is my dream. I want to test Android till I die. So I would probably not follow that path, but it could be one of the things that I would do, because I already have a lot of experience, because I know the applications like from the perspective of a functional tester, and then also I was writing automation, so I know how the programs for testing app mobile works, and also I have another layer, because I did some penetration tests for Android as well. So there's like basic of knowledge, but I could grow on that more. But I think I want to be a red teamer actually. So I think I should be very good at the web base, because that's like the first stage when you can enter, find like a vulnerability that you can enter through. And then I think a network would be good. Active Directory would be interesting, but I mostly like why I was trying to get OCP, because that's what my I don't know, manager told me, like what people told me when I'm trying to find a job, that without this certification would be very difficult for you to find a job, and or because the clients want it, and that's why they look for people with ICP, I don't know, junior tester, which I think it's a bit insane, but that's how the industry works at the moment. But I do agree with you that a lot of companies are moving to cloud. So I think that's maybe a very important part of pen testing that we should look into. And I think that would be one of the things I will focus in my near future. but I just really wanted to move along the like past the ICP and like okay, let's get it out of my agenda. But actually, I really like the Active Directory, so it's really fun for me. So I also like when I'm learning, I'm doing those for fun. So yeah, but that's pretty much what I want to say.
Theory hacking is one of the most boring things in my life. I don't really like it. I prefer to do web application testing, because most of them have problems in the logical part, because many people have a confusion. JWT token, like it's many people believe it's like don't understand this authorization token. And most of the time, this authorization is leaking some issues, because when you are creating a huge application, have access to different parts of the application, depending on your credentials or your token. In that case, it's like difficult, right? And that's the best way you can do it for when you want to start in cybersecurity, is try to find logical problems inside the application. Maybe try to open a document, or you create two different accounts, and you create one PDF in this account, and you try to access to this PDF from another account. That's something interesting for where you can do it, because most of the parts of the code is like secure, but application like Sneak or another applications creating like secure code, but the logical stuff, it's like more difficult to get it, because this application doesn't work, and artificial intelligence is not very good trying to find these issues, because most of the companies today have artificial intelligence to find vulnerabilities in the code. And that's a very funny part. And when you try to access where you cannot need to have access, but it's funny. And something I mentioned, like, it's not the same creating an application than broken application, because if you work as a penetration tester for Java, you need to rock it, and maybe it can be funny for you. That's why I say.
Yeah, actually, it was one of the reasons why I became a actually the tester, because I have this I don't know, it's a gift or maybe it's a curse of mine that I touch something technical and it breaks. So I thought, okay, they can pay me for that as a tester, and then I can do security tests as well. And the same manner to just, what does this do? Okay, it breaks. It breaks. Okay, I'm happy about that. Okay, so, and also like one of the other reasons was because my core character trait is I'm a learner. So I felt like there's like a boundary of my learning possibilities when I was the functional tester. But in security, something changes every day. So it's like I'm a self-propelling water wheel, kind of like, because there's also always some kind of a motivation that I can find, and always something new to learn. So yeah, I really love it. So it makes me happy. Other people might feel like maybe annoyed. Okay, I have to learn something else. I thought I'm a god by now, but there's something new, so I have to learn this. But for me, it's really, really good. I enjoy it.
Yeah, that's a funny thing. And one thing you say very, very interesting from my point of view is like many people is like how I can say is hating the certification, and I am one of those. I don't really like to get certification, but we need to understand, like, most of the companies is looking for these certifications if you want to arrive to work in some companies, because for the final report you need to have the certification, or maybe in my case I have the WPATX web security application stream, and if some companies need like I can sing the report, I have the certifications, like I know what I am doing, or supposedly know what I'm doing. That's why I believe it's important certification that for the companies hiring people. But another thing I want to mention, I believe is very interesting. It's like how important can be, because here we bring one guy. He's very smart, and he worked in bug bounty, and he had the record of bug bounty. And I believe if you are not able, because maybe people is afraid to have possibility to enter it back in certifications, or don't have the money or whatever, or you prefer to start in a real environment, because most of the time I'm feeling like hack the box and try hack me on this application, or it's good for get the knowledge, understand how the things are working, because it's not the same when you are reading what is a XSS that when the same when you are exploding as XSS, whatever it is, it's totally different, and give you the possibility to understand. And that's a good point. But most of the time when you are working in cybersecurity, or you are working as a penetration tester or bounty hunter, you need to try to broken the logics of the web application firewalls, and this totally different real environment with the we can say the labs creating in the companies. And I believe if you work hard and you start to working out, or you create, or you go to PDP programs, programs where it's free and you can enter, you can broken things, and you have the possibility to play with real environment, and you get a good letter from NSA or United States government or whatever. I believe that's going to help you in the future to find a job. If you are in the top of the list of one of the Hall of Fames of government or whatever, gonna help you. And I don't know if you someday you was thinking to start your bug bounty by yourself, or you are doing bug bounty by yourself.
Well, actually, was trying to join the Synacred team, but they had some issues with checking if I was how to say that
Real human.
No, if I was ever in jail, like do I have like a police records of being a criminal? So they couldn't check that. So we said, okay, we'll get back to you, and I guess nothing happened. But I really wanted to join bug bounty before, but and I think I still will, because I think it's a good way to learn and polish your skills, because I don't know, Hack the Box has just that much machines, and then it's over. You have to look for something new, and on bug bounty is kind of like more realistic environment, I think, and it would be a good practice. So yeah, I would like to join that. And yeah, I also have kind of like a dream to maybe not create a bug bounty program, but my own company for pen testing. But I think I still need some more experience as a pen tester myself, and build a community around me. So I think that might be coming in a few years, because that idea really grows on me. But yeah,
this is exclusive for everyone, right? You never mentioned before you want to get your own company. But anyway, you didn't have the chance to check HackerOne integrity or background. You never created a profile there and started working in open bug bounty program.
Yeah, because I worked for Accenture for 2 years, and when I was trying to do that, I had the contract that I couldn't do any bug bounty. But and then now I'm looking for jobs, so I tried, but I couldn't as well. So yeah, but, I can still do it, but I didn't do any bug bounty.
No problem. If you need some help, I can help you.
But it's really funny, because I have a job interview with HackerOne for like a position to work for them, not to do bug bounty for them. So it's I don't know, it's a bit funny to mention, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. And also, we are going to the last 10 minutes of the conversation, because I believe like it's been a very nice conversation. And also, maybe I have the chance to bring you back here and talk on other things about maybe the future job are you having. But one of the things I want to talk the last 10 minutes is like about artificial intelligence, because it's like the elephant in the room, and like everyone doesn't want to talk about that. And some people like it's very useful, and some people is like shame to say, wow, I was using ChatGPT to hack this application. And what do you believe is like the future? And you are interested also in the side of exploitation or cybersecurity of LLM systems or whatever.
So I feel a bit overwhelmed with this topic, because a lot of people is like pushing it, and also like on the conference I'm going in Montreal, the main topic is AI. So I created a presentation on GPS for war and peace, and they said, okay, add AI to that. So I had to add AI. So this is like I'm a bit overwhelmed, but I think it's important to be knowledgeable about it, to know what it is actually, how it works, because it might be very useful for the future. I guess it's even useful now, but I think it still needs some improvement, still work. It's not perfect yet, so there are some errors. So I don't really trust what it says to me every time. But a fair point is, because it's really useful, Yeah, I told this to my friend a few days ago. Oh, I wish there was ChatGPT when I was 13, because I can ask a question and it gives me like a scheme or scheme thematics of the most important points that I could look more on Google and like research on like through search engines. Yeah, I think it's a useful tool, but it needs some improvement still. And yeah, I don't totally trust it. So I guess that's what I want to say about this topic.
Yeah, but also we need to think a little bit about that. And one of the things I am worried about artificial intelligence and ChatGPT, and today, like most of the companies are using like daily using LLM systems, own LLM systems for the company, and bad actors, we can say, or criminals are trying to get access to these systems to get profit of that. And I believe like most of the people don't realize how important can be in the future, and many people don't understand how will change the world in the next 3 or 4 years, because you can see like how was the advance in the last 3 years. And if you believe like artificial intelligence like 3 years ago and today, it's like crazy the evolution of artificial intelligence, how it's going. Like, and many people is afraid also about what's gonna happen in the future if I'm gonna have the chance to find a job, because maybe artificial intelligence gonna keep my or take my job, or about that. Like, one of the things I like to explain to the people is like artificial intelligence is very interesting, but doesn't have the possibility to have the creativity. Most of the times, the people say have creativity, but it's not true. It's like know what is working and it's copied another thing. And one of the things we are having, or we are, I believe, like one of the skills we have as a hacker is the availability to think outside the box, and this is creativity. And I believe, like for this side, we can be safe alive at least for a little bit of time, because we will see the evolution in the 3 or 4 years, like from the beginning, from now, to the future. And I believe we will be crazy. And something I want to say, like, I don't know if you are using today artificial intelligence in your pen testing, or in your daily using, or you are one of the person like you don't like to use it and you like to create your own scripts.
Yeah, I actually prefer to write my own, but I sometimes use it to research a topic. Then I ask, oh, what is this? And then it helps me to, because when I'm doing research, I sometimes go into like the rabbit hole, and then I end up researching something different altogether. So ChatGPT, I sometimes ask question, and it helps me to get like a structured view on the topic that I'm looking for, and then I can look more into detail. And so that's what I'm looking. But when I'm writing code, then I prefer to write it myself, because I want to understand what I'm doing. I want to understand every bit of what I wrote there, and not copy paste something then breaks something else that I didn't plan. So yeah, I don't really want to use outsider code if I'm writing. I prefer to do it my own. But also, what I wanted to say about LLM models and like AI, as I when it started to like pop out in like the community and like on LinkedIn, there are like more and more posts, and people are getting excited about it. There was like this hype atmosphere, but I started researching it, and there was on some university, I don't remember, but I found a paper that they are trying to create malware that is learning by itself. So creating a malware kind of like LLM model that will grow by itself. So I think that's I don't remember what was the level of like did it work or didn't work, but I think it's really interesting direction that may take, because the persistent actors, the threat actors, they have time, they have persistence, they have money. There's like a lot of people there that can work on it. So yeah, and I think on the cybersecurity, if we have the resources so it's a bit scary to look at it. I don't know.
Yeah, I understand totally, because finally most of the people forgot, when we are working as a penetration tester or cybersecurity professionals, one of the things we are trying to get is try the how to say, like the security of the people, right? because most of the time we are thinking, or most of the people are thinking, we are trying to how to say, like put in the right way, or maybe secure the company. But the truth is, like, we are not securing companies, we are securing people, because finally this behind this company we have people, and some people have number accounts, like have how to say, you have your own ID, and can be stole it by some mafia or something like that, and this can destroy the life. That's why I really like you, and you are a Wonder Woman, because always they say, like, cyber professional, we are like a superheroes, because we take care of the people most of the time. And I that's why I believe it's like very important for our side start to think, start to understand what is LLM systems, what is working like behind of the scenes with the AI, because maybe today some people are saying this is a bluff, like it's something that disappears, it's a boom and it's happening, and that's weird that this disappears. But in my point of view, this is something like saving a lot of money to the companies, and it's not the same as another technologies. And if you are saving a lot of money for the companies, the company gonna take it. Then my daily basics, or maybe my way to do it, like as a professional, is start to understand what is doing LLM systems, how I can protect the data of the people there, and how I can protect the companies out there. That's why I believe it's important. And also, we don't have many patterns about cybersecurity, about LLM system and secure LLM system, and what you can do in LLM system. But I believe is the future, because we don't have many professionals in that side, and in my point of view is the future. And I don't know what do you believe. I believe you give me your point before, but if you want to say the last words about that.
Yeah, I do believe that it will be important. I think the threat actors will use it definitely, and profits. Yeah, sorry, I lost the word. But yeah, it will see. I will. Yeah, we will see, I guess. But it's interesting, definitely, and I think it will be important. I don't think it will be like a blip on the map and then it will go away. I think it will be grow into something important. Yeah, hopefully. Please don't tell where is Sarah Connor to AI. It's definitely interesting, so we should be mindful of it and like learn what it is, how to use it to our advantage, and maybe use it for more than creating memes, I guess. But it's a really useful tool to learn with and like to help you.
And also, we can think in the side of the bad actors, like very easy to create LLM. This LLM is crawling internet, trying to find SQL injections, automatic, using LLM systems, and that can be one way to create access. At we know, like, big companies have a big security, but most of the company, like small and medium companies, doesn't have this doesn't have this possibility to secure companies or whatever. And this is the supply chain attack that it is very common, and that can be the way to get profit of some companies like Walmart, Nike, or what of these companies. Because if you attack the supply chain, you can get access to the company information. And most of the companies maybe working with Walmart, it's not big companies. You have small and medium companies, and there is where you have the huge gap of security, because these companies doesn't have the how can I say the power, the economic power to do these security improvements. And if you do today, we have we are lucky, because if you want to do something like interesting inside of cybersecurity, or you want to get access, you need to have a little bit of knowledge. But with artificial intelligence, create democracy about the cybersecurity and create easy to bad actors or threat actors to get access to the data. And that's why I'm afraid, because we will start to see like many artificial intelligence try to get access to own data, and maybe you don't know the relations with your market or supermarket or your company or your bank with another companies, and maybe there is leaking information. And that's why I am afraid. And the huge number of the companies in the world is not big companies, it's like small and medium companies. Then we need to take care about that. Then, Dorota, I don't have more time. I have more time, but the thing is, like, I believe like it's very, very interesting conversation. We are talking about almost 1 hour. And for me, would be a pleasure to keep you back here one day when the people love it to have it. And for me, it was a wonderful conversation with you. It's a pleasure and know about your background and your story, because I believe it's very motivational, because the thing I get from you is like, if you have some vision, you can get it if you play hard, and that's why you are doing every day. And congrats to you, and congrats for your empowered woman mentality. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for inviting me. Bye.
My pleasure. Bye bye.